Hi there, join our exclusive WhatsApp community to learn more about Cyber GRC.
Now, all right, let's now get into why we're here today. The first thing I would like to do for those of us that that if you are not in the WhatsApp group, please make sure you join that group, and I'll send the link later. It's important. Today, we started with a very solid business case. Let me summarize it so that we can relate with it so quick. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to play this video for just 90 seconds. Then we come back, talk about the case, then we can brainstorm together as a team real quick. And I want to see your thoughts. I want us to think together. So let's do this for the next 2 minutes. Just listen to this video. MRI and CT scan equipment that's about to transform the way we care for our patients. Picture this: the touch of a button, and our new sophisticated equipment captures intricate details of our patient's condition. It's a promise of hope, a new era in healthcare. But with this incredible technology comes a responsibility to safeguard the most sensitive information, our patients' data. We understand the importance of security, of keeping your medical records safe from unauthorized acts. It's our duty, our commitment. We have carefully examined the risk from data breaches to system downtime. We know the potential consequences of not protecting your information, but we are not just aware of the risk, we are actively working to mitigate them.
Encryption, redundancy, strict access controls, all in place to protect you.
We believe that technology alone isn't enough. Our staff is trained, vigilant, and committed to keep your data secure. Compliance with healthcare regulations isn't just a requirement, it's our promise to you. We are dedicated to doing things right. As we move forward, we will continue to adapt, to evolve, to ensure that your healthcare experience is not just advanced, but secure too. Our promises to you, our patients, is unwavering. With our new technology, we'll provide the best care possible while safeguarding your sensitive information. In the end, it's not just about technology, it's about people, caring people who understand the value of your trust. Welcome to a future where healthcare is both advanced and filled with compassion.
Presenting tonight's project, Healthcare Risk Assessment Use Case.
See you shortly. All right, so let's sneak into the next part of the old drill for us real quick so that we can get busy. So that teaser was just to introduce you a little bit into our use case tonight. So the use case is simple. A hospital system have decided to bring in some equipments. The equipments are MRI machines and CT scan. These are big deal within most hospital system. Now, as a result of that, they need to do a risk assessment. Why is it important, ladies and gentlemen? In case you are not in the US or Canada, we have certain regulation to ensure the personal health information of our patients are properly secured. If it is violated, sometimes it can become a huge compliance issue, series of fines. Sometimes it could even be criminal. So it's a very, very complicated and big deal for most organizations. Okay. So what is the gist of this? Eventually, this organization has implemented and brought in their MRI and CT scan. However, there's a need to have a risk assessment done, which we'll talk about in a bit. The risk assessment is going to give us some insight into what exactly needs to happen before we can eventually bring this equipment on board. We need to understand what are the particular threats that this equipment implementation can bring within your organization. And when we say what are the threats, we need to understand what are the potential data breach, system failure, unauthorized access. What does that mean? Can somebody go to your MRI machine and grab your patient information without their consent? Remember, regulators can come after you for that violation. That's a big deal. Can somebody actually, if you're sending data through wireless, can somebody come in and steal your record if it's not encrypted, right? So those are very important elements to think about at the end of the day. Then the other question is that once you identify the risk, can we plan on a strategy to mitigate or reduce the risk, right? Then not just reducing the risk, can we prioritize what is important and what is not important in general? So those are very big deal. So let me quickly show you some things that in the case of this organization, they recognized some threats they thought were big. One, unauthorized access to patient data. Rightfully so, because they are hospital system. Two, data corruption to software bugs. So look at the bugs like, you know, um, errors or viruses or any kind of potential threat to the business. So the other three elements I want everybody to type, if you don't mind, please, real quick. Can we all type in impact, likelihood, and risk level? Can we type it real quick? Impact. Can we say potential impact, likelihood? Can we all type it real quick if you don't mind? And risk level. We'll type impact, likelihood, and risk level. Now, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in an interview and somebody is talking about risk assessment, if you sneak this conversation in, they would understand you have a feel, you know what risk assessment is all about, because really that's really what you're doing. Let me keep it simple. Let's bring it to the home front. If you stay in a neighborhood that is not safe, I can ask you, do a risk assessment of your neighborhood. You can tell me that, well, within my neighborhood, because it's a high crime, not you, but it's a high crime neighborhood, then I ask you to do risk assessment. You might tell me, well, the threats are number one, I could have gunshot because of there are gangs around. I could have car theft because of poverty. I could have potential burglary in my house. So those are threats you've identified. The next question might be, okay, what is the potential impact on your business? You might say, well, the impact is high, medium, low. You can give it whatever ranking you think. Then you can tell me what is the risk level in general. But this is really what most organizations would do. In a few minutes, you will see us do it live, and I'll do one. Then you have assignments to work on. You'll see me do it right now in a few minutes, okay? But let's just quickly go through it. But this is really what the core would be at the end of the day for us. The last thing you see is what we call mitigation strategy. Let's think about this together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take the first one. Unauthorized access to patient data. We can all agree in the hospital system, it makes no sense that somebody should just go get access to a patient's record. That makes no sense, right? So, what is the mitigation strategy to prevent this? Well, I can say, well, encrypt the data and implement access control. Hello, relax. Encryption means, okay, I'm converting normal text to an unreadable format. Let's keep it simple, right? So it means even if you steal my data, it's going to be useless because it's encrypted. As simple as that, right? Then access control is saying, I give you access based on what you need. As simple as that. If you don't need an access, we don't give it to you. Not complex, nothing. We are not playing games, right? If you don't need access, we don't give you access. Let me give you a real life example. Some years back, I used to do a lot of security work around enterprise solution. And when we go to an environment, there's something we call principle of least privilege, meaning if you don't need access, we just don't give you. So what we do typically is that I can run a query to see the last time you log on to an account for the last, let's say, 60 days, or let's say 180 days, that's 6 months, right? If you've not logged on to a system in 6 months, we don't even tell you. We just remove it. Your managers and directors will know about it. We just remove it because you will not even notice anyway because you've not used it for 6 months. So it's a very big deal. Access control is so important. And principle of least privilege, meaning only grant access to what people need. Very important. Let me sneak in another thing. It's a buzzword out there that people say right now. Let me make all our team a little bit smarter. Can we all type in zero trust? Can we all type in zero trust? I love that. Talk about that's awesome. Role-based access. Can we all type in another one? Zero trust. Can we put that real quick, everybody? Can we type that? I love that. Role-based access, another one, very big one, meaning only give people access based on the role. I love that. Zero trust, zero trust, zero trust. That's the buzzword out there today. And that's just simply saying, we're going to put say a lot of elements within access, not just it's a concept, it's not cut and dry concept. It includes role-based access control, multi-factor authentication, principle of least privilege. A lot of elements are incorporated within zero trust in general. Okay. All right. Good, 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 good. So that's really talking about the mitigation strategy. Let's see the final one. It says data corruption due to software bugs. What is the remedy? Thoroughly test the software. I mean, I think that's fair enough. If you're telling me that your software is having errors, let's say I'm clicking a file and it's showing me error, it's not able to download. It means you didn't test it well during your implementation phase, meaning when you were building it. And what's the remedy? Test it well. That's all. It's not complex. You didn't test it well. What's the fix? Test it well. That's all. But that's the gist about that. Okay.
Hi there, join our exclusive WhatsApp community to learn more about Cyber GRC.